How do dreamers, thought leaders, paradigm shifters change the world? They have to ask themselves this one question: am I willing to chase my dreams? If you want to know how to push the boundaries of your influence, impact the world, and live out your God-given dreams, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Passion and Prestige podcast. I am your host, world changer, dream chaser, and all-around nice guy, Teron Nolan. I am so glad you are here because today we are talking about leadership. We all have experienced good leaders and bad leaders. My question is, what kind of leader are you? Let's talk about it.
They just wanna knock you off the top, but I ain't gonna drop till I say so, till I say so, 'cause I say so.
What if I told you to be a leader, you had to learn to follow? Are those words hard to swallow, or do you need time to let it sink in? 'Cause way back in 5th grade, Miss Simpson showed me how to lead when she could have just told me. Every scolding from my mother made me a better man. My father's sacrifice showed me how to lay down a better plan. There's complexities in life my cousin would share, and when those gangsters ran up on us, I was scared, but he showed me courage when he could have just told me. He stood his ground and refused to run. My hand he was holding looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Don't ever run." It's the little moments, the memories that burn into our brain. I thank God for Miss Mary's wisdom and Miss Jackson's consistency. They showed me how to navigate through joy and misery when they could have just told me. And to my freshman coach, thank you for giving me a chance. You helped a kid who had no talent believe he had talent. You taught me that effort is more powerful than skill. And with every exhausting drill, I learned that quitting is never the option. And to Mark, Dewan, and Thompson, you taught me that me is the best me to be, and every scraped knee is like a yearbook signed with scars, reminding us of those moments we thought time was ours. I've learned a lot of lessons over my 40 years, but none have never been as clear as this one. When you're trying to learn something, being shown is more powerful than being told. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. It's an action, not a position, because a leader is best when people barely know they existed. A few years ago, I was responsible for throwing my best friend a bachelor party. Now, before your mind floats away to all the stereotypical bachelor parties, we decided early on that we would be men of integrity. So instead of strip clubs and hangovers, I decided to take all of us to experience paintball. Now, for those of you who have never been paintballing, imagine a massive piece of wilderness littered with broken buildings, busted vehicles, trenches, barbed wire, and what came to be known as the pit. Even though none of us had ever been paintballing, I was voted the leader of the crew. Teams were selected, gear was passed out, paintballs were locked and loaded. We were ready to go. Now, maybe I was a little overzealous and possibly bent the truth just a little bit. The paintball arena that we had traveled 3 hours to get to was strictly for professionals, not beginners. We should have known that this was going to be a painful lesson. As soon as we arrived, we stood out like a sore thumb. Men and women dressed in fatigues, full army gear. Some people were wearing what looked like bulletproof vests. I could have sworn one person had a paintball gun that looked like a bazooka. Me, Lionel, Manuel, and Gerald, we looked like we had just rolled out of bed and got ready for a pickup basketball game. 2 minutes before the match was about to start, my team was looking for me to lead them, but I was afraid. I had no clue what we were about to get into. As soon as the whistle blew, we were off. I wish I could say we were like a well-oiled, paintball shooting action hero team, but we were not, and I was no leader at all. Lionel was the first to get out. Paint splattered all over his left side. Gerald jumped out like a man possessed, jumping on an old tractor tire and shooting like the Terminator. He would have made it, but tripped over his sneakers and rolled down the pit. Needless to say, Gerald learned just how painful paint could be flying at you at 100 miles per hour. I'm not quite sure what happened to Manuel because I ran and hid behind a wall. I'm not even going to lie. Now, I know, a leader is supposed to know the way, go the way, and show the way. I did none of those things. As soon as the battle started, I ran and hid. I shot no paintballs, eliminated no players. I provided no direction or instruction whatsoever. I was dead weight and a shell of a leader. We lost that day. We lost many times that day. The lesson I learned from that experience was painful, physically and psychologically. Physically, we all carried the bloody bruises and welts from my lack of leadership. Those wounds would heal faster than the bruises I felt in my mind. I knew that I had let so many people down, completely ruined my friend's bachelor party, and was responsible for the swelling he wore gracefully in his wedding pictures. I'm sorry about that, Claudia. That day taught me that leaders have no other options. They must know the way, go the way, and show the way. How many of us know that we are called to be leaders, but struggle with that task, whether it's because of fear, insecurities, feeling like we can't handle the moment? But I want you to understand, I want to encourage you, learn from my mistakes. You are called to be a leader, and you must lead well. That's so important because so many other people are depending on your leadership. And here's the thing, it used to be that leaders led quietly. Now it feels like in order to be a leader, you have to lead loudly. And I want to kind of push back on that because here's the thing that I've learned about leadership. The best leaders that I have ever experienced were the leaders that were able to follow. The leaders that were able to have this quiet confidence inside of them and lead the team or lead the group to the place we needed to go. If you are called to be a leader, remember, you must first know how to follow. Every good leader knows how to follow. If you don't know how to do that, then that's where you need to start. Find someone who can be a mentor to you, who you can be under, who you can watch and learn and follow their steps. Notice the word follow, because that is so crucial. And you must be willing to take responsibility for the actions that happen. I had to take responsibility for what was going on, for my lack of leadership, because it not only affected me, but it affected everyone else. When you are a leader, whatever happens to your team or your project or whatever you're doing falls on your shoulder. You take it first. You're the first one through that door, and whatever comes through, you're feeling it first. That's being a leader. You're going to face or you're going to feel. That's the responsibility of a leader. Look, if you're not up for the job, don't do it. Tribe, I know that you are up for the task. So lead well, follow well, and make sure that you take responsibility for every single action that happens. Now I'm going to end this episode with these powerful, powerful words. Chase your dreams until the dreams you chased become a reality. Go change the world. And be ready to follow and lead. So now that you're part of the Passion and Prestige tribe, I want to know what you think. I love hearing from my listeners. So if you wouldn't mind taking a screenshot of you listening to this podcast and tag us at Passion and Prestige on Instagram. And don't forget to go into your podcast app, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review and a 5-star rating. This helps us reach way more people. Passion and Prestige Tribe, thank you so much. I will see you next week, and remember, chase your dreams until the dreams you chased become reality. Go change the world.
They just wanna knock you off the top, but I ain't gonna drop till I say so, till I say so, 'cause I say